Hi friends, welcome back to Whiskey and Wit. In today's video, I am going to share with you how I made this vertical porch sign that goes perfect with my little firecrackers that I made in a previous video, which I will link up above for you, so stay tuned. So I used this pre-treated lumber that was 48 inches tall, and I had already stained it for another project, but I ended up deciding that I wanted to use it for this just because I already had the wood treated. So I grabbed my Waverly white chalk paint and gave it 2 coats of white just so then I had a solid base to work off of. I also like the stain underneath because if you go to distress it, it's going to give you that dark kind of weathered rustic feel underneath instead of just unfinished wood. Once I painted the entire sign with the 2 coats and it dried, then I cut out a stencil that I created in Cricut. Due to the fact that I purchased this, I cannot share my project with you, but I will link down below where you can get a stencil like this. I ended up doing 1.5 of these stencils stacked because given the height of the sign, I wanted the stars area to be a little bit larger. So I went ahead and did that, and then I used my paper transfer tape from Expressions Vinyl. Another thing I'll link down below for you. This works so well with wood. It sticks to your stencils, but it's not going to rip off your paint, which is amazing. So then once I applied that transfer tape, I went ahead and applied it to the sign. And the actual stencil is just made out of quick cover from the Dollar Tree. I've been really loving that lately because it's so affordable and it works so well. Once I removed my transfer tape, I realized that a star had come off, so I made sure to put that on there. And then I finished the area with some painter's tape, so then that way I would get a nice crisp and clean line. The next step was to take some blue chalk paint from Waverly, and I got this in the color Ocean. And I went through and painted the sides as well as doing an up and down dabbing motion on the stars, just so then that way it wouldn't bleed underneath the quick cover. If you're worried about it bleeding underneath the stencil, you can put a quick coat of Mod Podge over the top and then put the paint on, but I wasn't worried about it and I was kind of in a hurry. So I just did the dabbing over the top, up and down instead of pulling the paint, and it really helps so that items don't go... It really helps so the paint doesn't get underneath that stencil. Take your time and be sure to just go up and down and you should be fine. But like I said, that Mod Podge can really be a fail-safe for you. Once that dries after 2 coats, I went through with my little weeding tool and pulled off all the stars. Another option is if you don't have a Cricut for the stencil, you could get some Dollar Tree stars stickers and just apply them that way. It's going to be the exact same vibe. So you can do that if you don't have a Cricut to cut out a stencil. So once I did that, I removed the piece of painter's tape for that clean line, and I just went ahead and flipped it, so then that way when I made each of the stripes, it was going to be a crisp and clean line just like that blue was. I started on the right hand side and I ran that 1.5" painter's tape down the side, and it took me a second to think about it, but if you think about how a flag is in real life, that red stripe should be at the top. I got a lovely comment from a viewer reminding me of that, so I made sure to do that on this project. Then I just went through and used a little piece of scrap painter's tape to really make sure that everything was evenly spaced out. And then I took some crimson Waverly chalk paint and painted in where the red stripes needed to go. Now all these same colors match those little wood firecrackers that I showed at the beginning. That is a whole nother tutorial, so I will link that for you like I mentioned, so you can go check that out. But I really like that all the colors match, so then that way it looked like a full cohesive set on my porch. I made sure to also cover the sides, just so then that way as it was sitting on the porch, you won't have weird unfinished edges. After 2 coats, I removed the painter's tape, and then I also removed the tape at the top, revealing that line. Now the last step would be to seal this. I went ahead and used a clear polyacrylic, especially given the white stripes, you don't want that to yellow, but this whole set turns out so good. And that little rug doormat is from Home Depot. It was about $10, so it was super cute. And my front porch is all decked out for the 4th. So let me know down in the comments below If you have made any of these patriotic DIYs that I have, I would love to see them. Also, I will link that full playlist here on the screen for you so you can check out those other videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!